5 altcoins that could make you rich by the end of 2024. Today, we're going to be starting off the first pick with a metaverse play. Yes, guys, I said metaverse. While RWAs and AI tokens have been taking off, there is a project that's been kind of flying under the radar, and it actually might bring back the whole metaverse industry. So check this out.
Join the waitlist.
Yeah, guys, this is a Ready Player One style game, and it actually is directly coming from the creator of Ready Player One himself. This is called Readyverse. Now, I have no affiliation or connection to this whatsoever, but I saw this very interesting article released on, of course, TE or TechCrunch gaming here. Ready Player One creator debuts Open a Metaverse Battle Royale. Now, if you guys have been following us and, of course, have subscribed to this channel, make sure you like that button down below. But we talked about this a few weeks back on our stream. And earlier this year, Readyverse Studios, co-founded by blockchain tech company Futureverse and Ernest Cline, who is the man behind the sci-fi franchise Ready Player One, announced this entire new immersive reality. This is going to be a third-person battle royale experience in which players compete against each other in a game show-styled multi-round collaborative modes using various gaming techniques such as shooting, tactical positioning, and even driving. And this debut included some announcements from Klein and his previous work, but a project known as Futureverse, I believe, with integration of Web3 in digital assets. So this is coming from a project that traditionally built an NFT game called Meet the Walkers. It does seem like if you go to their Twitter, they are still around with 24,000 followers on Twitter, still posting here. Of course, on March 15th, about a month ago, they released and pinned a tweet, but again, tweeted today. Their NFTs are still booming, and in fact, they're worth like $300 to $400 per NFT still. So these are the people behind the new immersive Ready Player One, and there is a waitlist on this game if you guys want to check it out. However, that leads us to the point, which project, which crypto in choice number one is something that you need to pay attention to. And I'm not going to give you just one crypto in this first position. I'm going to give you a few, because all I'm going to say is that the metaverse industry and Web3 gaming, I do believe, is going to be revived at some point. I don't know if it's going to be this project. There, of course, has been articles kind of just trashing on it, the whole metaverse and NFT market being dead. However, I would start looking at projects like the Sandbox or Decentraland Mana or Engine Coin right here, or even Render. Render has had a pretty significant pullback after we predicted and called the top of it on March 18th. It's down roughly 33%. So I'd be starting to find those entry points on projects in the metaverse category and maybe dollar cost average into these, getting ready for that big boom. Because look at this, guys. The one thing about metaverses is they are always going to bring retail. You know, this was the announcement or so around the metaverse hype with Facebook changing their name to Meta, and it sparked a massive rally where all these products saw 50, 60, 100 X's, and of course has crashed since then. Now, where we're currently at on these charts is going to give us a better depiction on the price point. And of course, if we zoom in now, guys, on the daily, MACD's definitely been in the red. It's showing to see that volume might be coming back to the positive side. We're bouncing off a major support level here on the EMA, but we could come down to this 200 range around the 55-cent level. Now, I don't believe this is going to be the next trend, but I would say metaverses and Web3 gaming are right around the corner, and you're going to want to start paying attention to these now. However, this does lead me to coin number two, okay? Because with the metaverse hype, there is industries that are starting to take off without needing some massive announcement. And of course, that is going to be Bitcoin and its ecosystem. Just in today, $1.5 trillion asset management group, Franklin Templeton, we're going to pull up the tweet here, said that there was positive momentum in Bitcoin's innovation. Institutions are coming. Now, with this, they released an insane in-depth report that has reached almost 500,000 views called The Rise of Bitcoin Ordinals, talking about the transaction volume, why it's different than NFTs, why this is bullish for, of course, Bitcoin's industry. And Leonidas underneath it highlighted a very key point that they pointed out in this article, which is a new fungible token standard on the Bitcoin network intended to be a more efficient standard compared to BRC20 that allows users to create, mint, and transfer fungible tokens. Glad to see Runes on the radar as well. So yes, you have Franklin Templeton now, guys, one of the largest asset managers out there, of course, coming out saying, hey, this is a narrative. There is going to be money in this game. And that leads me into the second pick of the stream, which is going to be Ordi Swap right here. Ords, O-R-D-S, Ordi Swap. Sitting at an $84 million market cap. This is starting to find significant support around the 13, 14, 15 cent level. It did get an initial hype. We originally called it on the channel at 0.06 cents. So we are still up roughly 2.5x here. And what I want to point out is we did get this initial rally. The reason why we had the sell-off here was due to the fact that they closed down their site. They put their site under maintenance. It's been under maintenance for weeks, and this is because they are developing a new user interface as well as adding a bunch of functionality, and now even integrating Runes protocol. That is where the money is going to be. So here's their version 3 update. This came out yesterday. It has been an eventful week for OrdiSwap, and we have had a ton of exciting new updates. Main progress updates. We have onboarded seven new team members to the team, including a new tech lead. This will significantly speed up development activities, plus a greater frequency of dev-related updates. Secured 2 foundational partnerships, Build on Bob and BVM. Have had massive dev upgrades for their staking protocol that is going to be released. That is called Rios right here. I am super bullish on, and we are grateful to the community for, of course, being so respectful in this time and this transition. Massive updates going live on this project, guys. And as one of the first dexes, this is essentially the Uniswap of Bitcoin. I am bullish. Now, token number 3 is going to be much smaller of a market cap, sitting around 25 million in terms of a fully diluted valuation. LFG. This one I really recommend you guys do your own research on. If you head over to their Twitter, of course, they are building a Runes DEX on top of Bitcoin. They're going to be one of the first DEXs integrated with Runes protocol. And just by their imagery, their hoodies, their marketing, sitting at 20,000 followers, I am incredibly excited to see what this project can produce. This is going to be the highest risk out of all the projects I talked today, guys. But seriously, their events and everything they've been participating in with their soft launch at ETH Denver, the way they've been marketing themselves, half of crypto is marketing, guys, and that makes me incredibly excited to see what they launch. Of course, on their website, it just has where you can end up picking it up and the breakdown of what they will be integrating coming soon. So I'm excited to see what they can develop. On top of that, you have Ethereum Layer 2 networks to reach a $1 trillion market cap by, or $1 trillion, market cap by 2030. This is coming from Vanik. So Vanik believes the entire ecosystem around Layer 2s is going to explode. I believe those Layer 2s are going to explode on Bitcoin. So we've covered three altcoins so far. We have another 2 to go and a special bonus at the end of this video. So if you're still along for the ride in this and appreciating this content, make sure you smash that like button and let me know down below which Bitcoin Layer 2 projects or Layer 2 altcoins in general you're going to be accumulating. But we have Bush and Siegel also projecting that there's a high chance that Layer 2 networks generate significantly bigger revenues than base Ethereum network. This is huge. This is their report. The report is awesome. It's in-depth on all of the metrics around, of course, the development around Layer 2s. This is a really cool graphic right here showing Ethereum's ecosystem transactions versus Ethereum mainnet share. So this is Ethereum's mainnet share, the light blue line, right? Getting a little bit of a bounce in 2022, but it is down and to the right. You'll notice this dark blue range, though. The dark blue range, though, if I change this color, let's go to green. This dark blue range is just constantly on the up, and this is going to be the transaction volume. This is Ethereum L2s. That is where this is going to be taking place. So Ethereum's ecosystem transactions are way more bullish than Ethereum shares. So Ethereum, of course, while it can hit a $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 market cap, you guys got to realize the market development and the ecosystem development is going to be massive. We see sequencing revenue models between Ethereum and these Layer 2s are extraordinary. Arbitrum revenues with 3 BPS of MEV and DEX volumes. Check this out. It is just increasing. March 24th, highest we've seen since March of 2023. Layer 2's on top of this. I want to go down to this next graphic here, which shows estimated total L2 profitability. Which are the most profitable? Well, revenue per transaction is going to be Mantle. However, total L2 margin is actually going to be in the darker the color, the worse it is, right? So Starkneck is definitely the least profitable right now, green being the most profitable. You'll notice Polygon Matic, right? Most profitable, but their ZKUs here, which is the type of rollups that they're using or the type of system they're using, is, of course, the least amount of revenue per transaction. So what I wanted to point out here was notice the ones that are in the middle, right? You want to find the ones that are constant, like right in between, that are starting to take off, that have a lot of potential, that have been getting a lot of hype. You'll notice that their total L2 margin is in between. They're not the darkest red, they're not the greenest, but of course they're not the darkest red in terms of revenue transaction, and they're not the greenest in terms of revenue per transaction here, like Mantle, right? I don't want to see big green, little red. I want to see in between. Now, I am bullish on ZK Sync Era, and I am bullish on Mantle, but what I want to point out was OP, Base, and Arbitrum. We've been covering these on our channels a ton, and OP, all right, even though it is the reddest here, is the least profitable, and total L2 margin is the least, let's scroll down just a little bit further and see where the development is happening. So current trust and assumption of ORRUs. Optimism and Arbitrum have way more trust than these other platforms like Mantle. If we scroll down, though, Bridge TVL, the total amount of value locked on top of these L2s, look at this. Optimism, let me go to red right here. Optimism is dark green. It has way more volume than anything on the market besides Arbitrum. It's Arbitrum and Optimism. So this makes me incredibly bullish on the percentage of the total value locked in the Ethereum layer 2s. It's all Arbitrum and it's all Optimism. Everything else is minuscule. So that's making me incredibly bullish. Of course, guys, token number 4 is going to be Optimism as a layer 2. And this is primarily because it has seen a bit of a dip. It peaked at almost $5, $4.50. It's down to $3. The ecosystem development is massive. It's got tons of liquidity, and they're injecting $3.3 billion into their ecosystem, which makes me incredibly bullish on a project we were already bullish on at 6 to 8 cents. We called Velodrome. It's up 400%, and it's starting to build a very bullish pattern here, and it's starting to find support, and I want to see it kind of find that support around 23-24 cent range, but I might actually be picking this up again for the first time since we initially bought, because I am bullish on this. It's a smaller market cap and do believe it could see massive upside potential, as Velodrome is the #1 place for trading and liquidity on top of Optimism. They're also the same company behind Aerodrome Finance. They are popping off. Now let's move to the last sector here. So what is the bonus content, right? I've already given you like 5 cryptos. I said there was some bonus content here at the end. It is going to be RWAs. Now this is from rwa.xyz. A lot of people don't know this, but if you go to this website and go down to the asset classes on the left, you can click on US Treasuries and see which cryptos have the most amount of development built on top of it in terms of RWAs. Of course, right now that is Ethereum, that is Stellar, that is Polygon, Solana, and Canto, which actually has no really money whatsoever. This was interesting to point out because people are talking about how XRP is going to be this #1 RWA platform because they're launching their stablecoins. Stellar is miles ahead with $362 million built in RWAs on top of their platform. Interested in seeing that competitor taking that place there. But Ethereum, of course, here is $624 million. And notice how BUIDL, guys, is the second largest now out of these. BlackRock just launched this. It is the second largest RWA behind FOB-XX. So BlackRock is coming into the space hotter than ever, and I think you're going to see a massive trend in this where we see only about $1 trillion. Well, that's not only, but of course, sorry, it's $1 billion. $1 billion, right? 9,122,000. $1 billion. I believe we'll see this total value increase to over $1 trillion within the next 2 years. Yes. The next 2 years. And you'll notice that the holders, though, guys, 664. This just launched. There's barely anybody using this platform. There's like 8 holders, 9 holders. And that's just going to be because of the fact that BlackRock just launched this. And I think these RWAs are going to take off further down the road. So that leads us here to Morgan Stanley wants to beat UBS to become the first Bitcoin ETF bank. What I want to point out is that, guys, massive money is about to flow in these markets. I don't know how anybody is bearish on this price action around Bitcoin. If we were to pull up Bitcoin's chart right now, it is setting up a bull flag, a massive bull flag, to be real with you guys. This is a massive bull flag. MACD starting to reverse. Yes, we can come down. I think worst case scenario would be like $61,000. But when we draw this out here, we're getting a bullish pennant to form. We're getting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to form. So if this does break out, we do get that retest of this top line here, this top trend line here. Let me show you guys a little bit better TA just for some perspective. I am accumulating right now, right? I want to be picking up right now. I want to be picking up before the Bitcoin halving. That is a very bullish pennant. So again, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to be testing the fifth side of this right now, and traditionally, this is like 70 to 80% of the time, guys, we will get a little, maybe we test a little bit further down, but we get a breakout to the upside, and that makes me incredibly bullish. We'd be looking at an $80,000 price point on Bitcoin itself. Again, that doesn't have to happen. It is about 70 to 80% of that time. But with that, guys, what RWAs, what real-world assets am I picking up? Of course, it's going to be none other than the project we already talked about on this channel. I have a full video, in-depth video on BlackRock and Ondo. I said I believe Ondo could go to a $3-4 billion market cap. It wasn't the project I'm most bullish on because, of course, I think a lot of the marketing goes into the website, which just simply shows and has BlackRock labeled as a, it looks like a partner, right? But they're just actually investing into their asset management funds. But now I actually might believe Ondo will be jumping in on this new BUIDL product, and we'll see how they integrate that with all of their US-backed stablecoins and institutional grade on-chain finance. Interesting project. Still thinking that could be a huge winner here. Canto, I put on the list just because that RWA, but this actually isn't a favorite project. I am on just the real world assets here. I'm going to just point out a few. So Ondo is number one by far. There's a few down here. Maple started taking off. It was at $164 million market cap. What I like to do is just click on 24-hour volume here, and I want to see which ones are printing the most volume. And of course, right now, that is Pendle, but I missed out on Pendle. It's at all-time highs. I'm not necessarily looking for that project. So let me know in the chat here, what projects are you watching that are RWAs that I should be paying attention to? Because I need to do a deeper dive into a lot of these projects. Rio's another one that people have been talking about. It looks like it's a newer launch, though, so I don't have any insight on that for you guys here just yet. But Proppy Pro, I did just release an article on with fractionalizing pretty much real estate through NFTs, which is very interesting as a real-world asset. You'll be able to fractionalize, not NFTs, but fractionalize your assets like real estate into multiple different purchasable digital assets, which is really cool. So check out that thread. It's of course on Twitter, guys. If you haven't checked out my Twitter, you need to give me a follow. I'm dropping in-depth narrative threads here constantly. We're doing a $1,000 giveaway right now for CDX here on the platform. That's absolutely taking off. I have some funny memes on here as well. But the other day, or actually yesterday, I did just release this entire in-depth thread on BlackRock. It's going to be all on blockchain, BUIDL, and the RWA narrative. So in this, I talk about ETH, Ondo, and Pro. Really recommend you check this out and get an in-depth kind of insight on why I believe RWAs are about to take off. But that's all I got for you guys today. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button on this video. Let me know the altcoins you're accumulating before this Bitcoin halving, or also just let me know, Josh, do you think this is going to crash? Or let me know what you guys want to ask in the comments below so we can break down all the information for you guys in these videos every single day. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you at the top.